the service. The restaurant has an inviting atmosphere and a dynamic vibe. Over the years, Lanell has catered most major black events in Los Angeles, including all of our KBLA Talk 1580 gatherings. But now he has his own spot, Lanell's Soul Food Cuisine, and you need to check it out at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. Oxtails, baked or fried chicken, meatloaf, turkey chops, pork chops, catfish, short ribs, and all the fixins. Collard greens, mac and cheese, yams, red beans, black-eyed peas, and more. And of course, hot water cornbread, satisfying drinks, and delicious desserts. Lanell's is a great place for brunch, lunch, or dinner. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for you, because we've got your black. So, head on over to Lanell's Soul Food Cuisine at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles and tell Lanell you heard about it on KBLA Talk 1580.
Come on over to my place, 'cause I've got to have you, baby. Hey, come on, come on, come on.
Welcome in. What's good, KBLA fam? It is Juneteenth. First of all, shout out to all of our ancestors. You know we are celebrating Black freedom and resilience today. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. It is also KBLA's 4th anniversary. So let's give it up to that. 4 years of KBLA Talk 1580. Getting it in, bringing you depth. Little excursion over here. The subjects, the topics, the people that you want to hear from and that you're talking about yourself. So, you know, we got to give it up for ourselves. That is quite an accomplishment of its own. And then just a preview of tomorrow. Andy, I bet you don't know what tomorrow is. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know?
Friday.
Yes, it's Friday. But what other anniversary happens tomorrow?
June 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Man, maybe a Lakers championship, maybe, or something.
No, but close. It is Jill Munroe's 2-year anniversary with KBLA. I mean, kind of, sort of. We kind of could be starting over, but we're not. So we are starting from the beginning. So it's tomorrow. It's 2 years.
Congratulations, Jill.
Thank you. So we got a lot to celebrate. You know, as mentioned, everyone should know what Juneteenth is, but if you don't, it is the day that in 1865, 2 years later, right? No, 1867. It's 1867 because the Emancipation Proclamation happened in 1865. One of those. Y'all get the point. I'm not doing well on my history in this moment. I might have messed myself up overthinking it. But the point is, it reached Galveston, Texas, the news that the slaves were freed. It was 2 years after it had been mandated by the nation. Can you imagine? So today we celebrate freedom. We celebrate our continued push forward. And, you know, continuing to fight for the dream of freedom and happiness, man, you know, and family, because all of those things tie together. Andy?
We need to keep the fight moving, as you said. If one community can be attacked, you know what I'm saying, our community can be attacked. And I know a lot of people will say that our community is always, forever, and hasn't stopped being under attack. But I think that
You saying they could try and push us someplace we never been before either.
Absolutely. And I just got to be honest. I think, you know, I can only speak for myself. I feel like I grew up in a privileged time, you know, as opposed to, you know, well, I don't know the generations before the baby boomers or whatnot, but
silent generation.
Is that what, okay, the silent generation, the baby boomers and all of that, like, they went through it. When we talk about struggle, like, what we struggle, I mean, look, once again, I don't want to play no struggle Olympics or whatnot, but I just feel like when we talk about being involved civilly, I feel like it was in their face. You had no choice but to, like, be politically involved.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And I think with entertainment being so rampant, like, at the forefront, we are 100% distracted. And I just think that, you know, on a day like this, you know, it's great to celebrate, but I also think it's a great reminder that we need to continue this fight. And let's not forget, you know, what our forefathers, you know what I'm saying, what they did for us to even, you know, give us this platform to even, you know, push the fight.
Listen, your boy, talking about the president, your boy is on his social media talking about there's too many holidays and it wastes money for billions of employees, and the workers don't even like it. Like, people don't like a day off. I mean, I'm at work, but you get the point, right? People like a day off. They like a little holiday. And your boy is like, we're going to do something like that. So he's already trying to erase this one off the books and keep it going. So it's right in our face. What you choose to do about it and how you move is on you, because you see the fallout. When we come forward, we're going to get into these trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Coverage varies by plan. View contract and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
Do you own a 2005 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all? With the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering a low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save you thousands off costly vehicle repairs. Get your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage are included. For your free quote, call 800-689-5978. 800-689-5978.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431. 800-868-6431 and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
Is reviewing life insurance on on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back, and you are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So, of course, you know how this goes down. If at any point you want to get in on the conversation, 800-920-1580. Of course, we're available on all social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill. Holla at us. Download the app. We got a new app. So, check that out. See the newness, the freshness, the hype. Go to see what that's all about. We appreciate all of that. And of course, much love to the YouTube chat, because they're always there with great commentary, getting it cracking already. So we already have a phone call. Before we get into the phone call, let me give you a quick rundown of what we're talking about tonight. We are getting into that top 75 R&B greatest artists list from Billboard. Of course, I got what the criteria is. I have all of the lists now. It's complete. I know who number one is. I also, because I love y'all, went one step further and looked at what the list was of their top greatest artists from 10 years ago, just to see the shifts and movements that Billboard is giving us, or, what the culture is dictating. See what your thoughts are. So we're going to get into those details. We are also going to talk to Mowry. She posted a pretty deep Happy Juneteenth message, and also discussed how she at times growing up questioned her blackness. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I think it's important on a day like today, Juneteenth, to get into those details. And, we got a couple of more things that we will chat about. Now, I mentioned we already have a call. JW from South Central LA is on the line. What's on your mind? Happy Juneteenth, JW, this evening.
Yeah, same to you. I just wanted to encourage everybody that this is a day that we can use to inform ourselves and encourage ourselves to move forward. Especially with Trump already wanting to be flip-flopping and changing his mind about, wanting to cancel the holiday. I knew it wouldn't take long, but, us as a culture, we already have a history of success and overcoming adverse times. And with God on our side, and with people power, the Constitution says we the people, there's power and strength in numbers, and if we just include the humanity, meaning all the United States and different nationalities and worldwide, we can't go wrong. And God already gave us the victory. The victory's ours. All we got to do is get busy.
Appreciate you, JW, coming through with the message on Juneteenth to uplift us and encourage us. We appreciate that. So, let's talk a little bit about this top 75 R&B list from Billboard. There is, of course, a lot of controversy on who comes before what. I can tell you, Michael Jackson is not number one.
Question.
Yes.
Just solo?
Just solo.
Like solo artists, not no groups or anything. Okay, cool.
Yep. Let me break down what the criteria is really quickly. So, the Billboard staff used the following criteria. Vocal prowess. That's how good they can sing, y'all. Number one, out the gate, pretty important. Okay? Body of work, obviously, their full catalog. Career longevity. Longevity counts. Industry achievements. Have they won a Grammy, a BET Award, an ASCAP Honors, an American Music Awards, a Billboard Award? Have they? Have they? Game-changing influence and enduring generational / cultural impact. They further clarified, while some singers who made the list are also known for their lyrical skills, songwriting was not a major deciding factor in this instance. And legendary singers best known for fronting groups versus their solo work were not included. Okay? So, where do you guys want to start? Do you want to know who's in the top 10? Do you want me to jump around a little bit and just name off where some people landed?
Man, do the whole list.
I don't know if I have the whole list because, you know, Billboard's behind a paywall. So we are limited in what we can get for free.
Can we do 20?
We can do, what, the top 20?
Yeah.
We definitely can do that. What we can do is we have several from 50 through 26, meaning I know where specific spots are, and we absolutely have from 26 to 1.
Okay.
So, let's see. Let's see where we start. Okay. So, at number, where is this? I don't want to start backwards. All right. Number 50 is John Legend. 48 is Lauryn Hill. Keep in mind, y'all, Lauryn Hill only has one album. Though it be a classic, she has one solo album.
She was spitting on that album as well.
She was, you know. Now, number 47, I'm going to be real. I got a little question mark behind because I personally do not consider this artist an R&B artist. It's The Weeknd. And Tank is number 68, who dropped his first album in like 2000, right? Has had several R&B hits, dominates on The Quiet Storm. I know The Weeknd is definitely the bigger artist, but is The Weeknd an R&B artist?
What do you consider him?
Pop.
He's R&B.
You think The Weeknd, what, like alternative R&B?
He's R&B.
I don't know if I feel like he's R&B.
The music is R&B.
Is it?
Yeah.
I feel like some of it is like disco laden, which is, you know, R&B. I like The Weeknd. Y'all don't come for me. I do not stand The Weeknd, but I do enjoy The Weeknd, have since the beginning. I'm talking he and Drake, Crew Love, all of that. House of Balloons is like amazing.
I think The Weeknd has kind of created like his offspring. When I think of, and I know this is a horrible comparison, but I look at like your Don Tollivers or, you know, Tory Lanez for that matter.
Okay.
They got like that sound. It's R&B.
But so I would venture to say, might be kind of controversial.
You're a purist.
No, I'm not a purist, but Tory Lanez, Don Toliver, and the like are more sons of Drake than I feel The Weeknd. And granted, there's some synergy there, but The Weeknd, to me, when I think Weeknd, I think pop. I don't know why. Or even maybe dance music, almost.
Yeah, I wouldn't go dance. Maybe there's some dance songs.
Okay, fair.
I'm with you with the Drake, because I put The Weeknd under Drake as well, too. So I give you that. And, you know, it kind of goes along with what do we call Drake, right? Does he do R&B? Does he do hip-hop?
I think Drake is hip-hop, but I think under hip-hop, you know, R&B and hip-hop kind of got their marriage in the late 90s. Well, with Mary J. Blige, like on through that, you know, through the 90s with sampling, and then we saw a lot of songs we went from some no-name guy saying a couple of 8 bars on a song, you know, to Jody Watley putting Rakim on a track, and the rest is history.
The Weeknd is definitely the evolution of music today, right? A genreless type of.
I can go for that.
You know what I'm saying? So I give you credence to why you may feel like The Weeknd is not R&B. I'll give him the R&B pop, but it's different. It's evolved.
Fair. 46 is Rihanna.
Is she R&B?
Sometimes. And I love Rihanna. I'm nobody's Navy, Hive, none of that. I might be a lamb, lowest of keys. I don't think Janet's fans have names. They might, but she's my Omega. But but I love Rihanna,
right.
Top to bottom, everything.
She's probably ranked appropriately then.
SZA's 44. Should SZA be before Rihanna?
What is that? 2 spots ahead of her?
3.
3?
No, 2.
2. Maybe because of the whole R&B aspect. When you listen to SZA, you hear R&B, and there's the question behind Rihanna.
So here's something that I feel is controversial. Aaliyah's number 40, right behind SZA. I understand they're going on influence, and she's still impacting 20 years after her death, right? 3 projects, but if SZA is the longest holder of the number 1 spot, knocked Taylor Swift off with Snooze, I believe, and that last album. Think about how big that album was, right? And this is what SZA's second album, granted length of time, but that is something that Aaliyah never came close to. I know it's impact, and then vocal prowess. I love Aaliyah.
Blasphemy.
Y'all don't come for me. I love Aaliyah. I've also, at the time I was there in the 90s, have seen Aaliyah perform live a great deal of times. And I love Aaliyah.
Are you saying she's mid?
On the mic, occasionally, back in the 90s, maybe a performance or two. It was earlier in her career. Nothing Aaliyah did was mid. I loved every album. I was rolling with every movement, the songs.
Her performances, though.
Some of them live performances.
Speak on it. Because I got flack for, my criticism on Ashanti.
You did.
Just saying.
Listen, some of those performances, it's a good thing that we gave people grace back then. It's much more harsh currently. I will say that as far as the thought process. But yeah, so we'll continue on. 37 is Frank Ocean. Go ahead.
It sounds like you're arguing that SZA should be ahead of Aaliyah.
I'm just saying, I don't know. How much do, controversial, trigger warning, reminder, I love this individual. Worked on this individual's final project, okay? But how much does us being affected by the tragic circumstances of her death at such a young age also impact how we view her? Because I ask the same thing sometimes of our attachment to Biggie and Pac. I love them. They're great. I understand how they changed the culture. But I sometimes wonder if Aaliyah gets more credit for changing the culture. You don't think so?
If
you definitely think she did?
If you're talking about like her death taking her to the next level, no, I disagree. Because her artistry and her impact at the time, and I think that's why she's in front of SZA. You have a lot of Aaliyah babies.
No, for sure. 100%. No.
And I asked this
100%.
question. If Aaliyah did not pass away, would Beyonce be as big as who she is?
Yes.
Because Aaliyah was on the brink of superstar.
Was she?
Yeah. Rock the Boat.
Let me tell you, that's the album I worked on. So, and I loved that album, but let me tell you this, right? Michael is not number 1 on the list. I see Morris Phillips asking in the chat. He's not.
Is he R&B?
Michael is R&B.
Michael is everything.
Michael is everything. I'm just going to say that last album didn't go to number 1 until after her death. All right, let me get back to the list really quickly.
Hold on, though. I'm sorry, Jill.
What?
She died kind of like when the album dropped, though.
She died August 25th. The album dropped a few weeks before that. Yeah, but the single wasn't. I worked the project.
I get it. You're basically saying that if she didn't die, it wouldn't have went to number 1. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I don't know, because Rock the Boat was an amazing single, and there was a strategy that we were doing. More Than a Woman was for the pop audience. Rock the Boat was for R&B. She was unsure about Rock the Boat because she felt the kids might have thought she was being a little too freaky in that song. But yeah. But it was a different time. You got to think, this was 2001. This was a different time period, and it was, it was kind of different. But let me get back to the list. Number 33 is Alicia Keys. 29 is Diana Ross. 28 is Erykah Badu. 26 is Chris Brown. Right? All right. So let's get into where we go from there. 25 is Patti LaBelle. 24, Bill Withers. 23, Teddy Pendergrass. Luther Vandross is 22. R&B singers, right? I don't know. 21, Danny Hathaway. 20, Otis Redding. I know what y'all really want. You want the top 10, right? When we come forward, we're going to get into the top 10. Remember, you haven't heard Whitney. You haven't heard where Janet is yet. It's a lot happening. So we'll get into all of that and more when we come forward. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Could be such a sweet reality. Come on over here, lady. Do you wanna make love tonight, my sweet baby? Hold me close on that.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. A daily news reporter is now banned from City Hall events after clashing with Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Adams called out Chris Summerfeld Tuesday for asking questions out of turn, then told security to keep him out.
You're not going to come into this conference mouth off topic and be disrespectful and call out and think you're going to do what you want.
State Assembly member Charles Levine says the ban violates constitutional values. New York is honoring Juneteenth by lighting up landmarks like One World Trade Center and Niagara Falls in red, black, and green. Governor Kathy Hochul calls it a pivotal moment in U.S. history, and Westchester's first Black country executive, Ken Jenkins, is urging residents to reflect and join local events. And Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial resumes Friday in Manhattan after a sick juror paused proceedings. His former assistant, Brendan Paul, is expected to testify. Diddy will not take the stand, and the prosecution may rest on Monday. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Griffith Park 5 South slowing from the 134. You're crowded ahead to the 2. Some more slow traffic in Commerce from Washington to the 605. On the 5 northbound, we're looking at you out of Santa Ana. That drive is crowding up, getting away from Grand Avenue all the way to Harbor in Anaheim. Also in Anaheim, the 91 eastbound crowding up at the 55 freeway. Delays ahead to Green River.
Temecula Valley Balloon and Wine Music Festival is happening June 20th through 22nd, featuring Walker Hayes, Cody Jinks, Alabama, and more. Tickets are available now at TemeculaValleyFestival.com. Powering the best events from start to finish, events.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
A key component of the Lakers' $10 billion sale to Dodgers owner Mark Walter is that Jeannie Buss, Jerry Buss's daughter, will remain as the team's governor and will continue to run fund the team. Jeannie Buss will also retain a 15% ownership of the team after the purchase is finalized. Walter agreed to keep Jeannie Buss involved. Buss took over the Lakers after her father passed away in 2013. Jeannie Buss will continue to represent the Lakers at NBA owners meetings and sign off on major personnel decisions. Something to keep an eye on is the status of Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka. Pelinka has had difficulty building a contending team around LeBron James. What if Walter tells Buss it's time for a new voice and a new approach in the GM office? Jeannie has been very loyal to Pelinka. It could be a tough decision for Jeannie if Walter makes that call. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
LA's newest soul food restaurant is getting spectacular reviews. Great place with amazing food. The Sunday champagne brunch is fabulous. I saw the place on IG. We tried it for lunch. We were blown away by the food and the service. The restaurant has an inviting atmosphere and a dynamic vibe. Over the years, Lanell has catered most major black events in Los Angeles, including all of our KBLA Talk 1580 gatherings. But now he has his own spot, Lanell Soul Food Cuisine, and you need to check it out at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. Oxtails, baked or fried chicken, meatloaf, turkey chops, pork chops, catfish, short ribs, and all the fixins. Collard greens, mac and cheese, yams, red beans, black-eyed peas, and more. And of course, hot water cornbread, satisfying drinks, and delicious desserts. Lanell's is a great place for brunch, lunch, or dinner. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for you, because we've got your black. So, head on over to Lanell Soul Food Cuisine at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles and tell Lanell you heard about it on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's so funny running into you. It has to be 3 years since we last seen each other. Many flashbacks come to mind.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to Dave Hollister. He's not on the list. Neither is Aaron Hall. They are both fruit of a certain tree. We'll get into that. So I'm going to give you the top 10 of this Billboard greatest 75 R&B artists of all time. And
slow it down, Jeff. Slow it down.
Why?
I want the top 10 to kind of,
You wanted to
Yeah.
resonate.
Yeah,
You wanted to
just a
marinate
little
on
bit.
the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll process it just a little
All right. Well, let me give this to you before I give you the current top 10, right? How about I present to you the top 10 from 2015. So 10 years ago, this was the top 10. Number 10 was Al Green. Praise him. Number 9 was Whitney Houston. Number 8 was Prince. 7 was Marvin Gaye. 6 was James Brown. 5 was Aretha Franklin. 4, Ray Charles. 3, Smokey Robinson. 2, Stevie Wonder. And number 1 was Michael Jackson. Now, I've already told you Michael Jackson is no longer number 1. Okay? All right, so are you ready? Let's get into this top 10. I just gave you the top 10 years ago, right? All right, so at number 10, Al Green is gone. And in his place, who was at number 7? Marvin Gaye. At number 9 might be controversial that he's on this list. Don't know. He certainly deserves to be on the list. Number 9, which was Whitney Houston, is now one Robert Kelly. Argue with somebody else, not me.
Can't deny it. Can't deny it.
All right. So number 8 is Mariah Carey, who was not in the top 10 at all. All right. But remember, they said they didn't include songwriting in this. So just keep that in mind. Is Mariah, and I think she is. I know sometimes she's not. I'm just saying some people would ask, is Mariah R&B? Now, certainly for me, Honey, Rainbow, The Emancipation of Mimi, we can go on, and those are my faves. Vision of Love, I believe, was an R&B song, but it wasn't really marketed as such at the time. But, that's just a sidebar. Number 7 is Prince. Number 6 is James Brown. So he's taken a couple of steps back. No, he stayed in the same place. James was at number 6 10 years ago. He's still at number 6. Whitney, who was at number 9, is now at number 5. Okay? Number 4 is somebody who was not in the top 10 at all last time. Beyonce. Now, the former number 1, he's now number 3. Michael Jackson. Number 2, Aretha Franklin. And number 1, shout out to my Taurus brother, Stevie Wonderland.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I could respect it too.
MJ should have been number 2, though. Or he should have stayed at number 1, excuse me.
I think that Stevie and Michael should be 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I probably would move James Brown up.
I agree.
Some more. I know that is very male heavy.
They had James Brown over Prince.
Yeah, Prince was 7, James Brown was 6. But Prince is a child of James.
Brown.
So was Michael.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, where's Rick James on the list? I don't know. It's an interesting little list there.
It sounds like they really did their best to really have a balance, because I think they represented most of the generations to the best.
Someone in the chat, I lost it now, said that it was Derek Pope. SZA's too new to be on all-time list.
I agree with
which
that.
I understand and I agree with, but however, what The album did, and the single on Billboard, longer than anything else. Does that not count for changing things?
You know, it's funny. You know, I was at the barber earlier today, and these youngsters, they was having the conversation about Drake, Kendrick, blah, 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 whatever, right? And, you know, of course, they brought up Tupac, you know, they brought up Biggie, and I was just like, yo, like, because I guess Drake, you know, broke records, you know, I guess he's number one like Michael Jackson or something like that. And I'm just like, yo, like, the listening experience is completely different, you know what I'm saying, than what it was back then.
You had to physically go and buy something.
As opposed to streaming nowadays. I think, you know, the streaming numbers can be manipulated.
We put it on as background. We know there's stuff that can happen with bots that can run it up.
So I don't want to dismiss SZA or whatnot, but I think because of that, you know what I mean, them numbers might be a little bit skewed in comparison to actually, like you said, going out to the record store, standing in line, purchasing it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it's an interesting list. I can't say I'm mad at it. There's some questions I have further down the line that I may not truly understand. Like, where's my girl Janet? You know?
Where's Mary?
Further back.
Wow.
Further back. That's what I'm saying, man. You know,
Kelly Price?
I don't think Kelly Price was on there.
Interesting.
You know, just things happen. All right, listen. When we come forward, we're going to have more trending topics and headlines. Let me just drop this in your lap before we do. Could Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa, otherwise known as Tiana Taylor's bae, could he be the next James Bond? Now that MGM and Amazon MGM Studios, let me give them the proper billing, are looking to reboot the franchise, they're considering reportedly Aaron Pierre, who is British, attractive, unproblematic, has the range. He's done horror, old, prestige, the Underground Railroad, superhero. He's going to be in Lanner's next. And according to industry insiders, he's on the short list to be Bond, right? So could we be finally seeing the I can't talk right now. No, I'm not even trying to say accolades. What I'm trying to say is the actualization. Yes, the actualization, because it's one of those days, of a black James Bond. We'll have to see. But I think Aaron Pierre, he might be able to, you know, we saw what he could do in Rebel Ridge, all of that. We'll have to see. Andy?
Where's Aaron Pierre from?
He's British.
Okay.
So, and, you know.
You already know it's going to be some issues with that.
Why? James Bond is British.
I understand, but what race
they were
is he?
thinking about.
He's a black man?
Yeah. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. He might be biracial.
I just know.
I'm not sure.
Was it Damson Idris or whatever?
Idris Elba.
Who?
They were.
There we go. They had an issue with Idris Elba or whatever because he was British or something like that.
I mean, everybody's going to have an issue. We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
When we come forward, more trendy topics and headlines, and we got somebody on the line, a caller on the line. We'll get into all of that and much more. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PUSH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PUSH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PUSH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So really quickly before I get to this call, I mentioned Brandy and Aaliyah. Aaliyah was 40, Brandy was 41. Now, here's the thing. Remember, cultural impact, vocal prowess. Brandy is considered by many the vocal Bible. Okay, we talk about cultural impact. Brandy had a doll, the first black Mattel Barbie for a young black woman. She also had a TV show, Moesha. Okay, she was right there. Gave you a bop. It was going to give you a little bit of choreography with a nice 1-2 step, a little hit 'em here. Remember, do the Brandy from I Want to Be Down. Okay, and she was a black Cinderella. So again, this is no shade because I love Aaliyah. Every album, I was locked in there. The choreography, the mid, all of it. But in what world should Aaliyah come before Brandy? And this is where I ask the question about her death kind of overshadowing some things. And again, this is meant as no disrespect. This isn't dissing Aaliyah as an artist, what she brought, her mysterious, whatever. That's one of the things that we loved about the 90s. All the girls had their different images. Brandy, Monica, Aaliyah, later Beyonce. But you get my point. Andy?
You know, it's deep that you said that because I'd like to think that Brandy had a little bit of hate.
Brandy had a lot of bit of hate. People thought she was too clean.
Yeah,
her image was too
up.
Yeah, and all of these things. And then that all came tumbling backwards when she did the MTV Diary, and people later found out that she wasn't really married and she had a child out of wedlock, blah, 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 blah.
What about Monica?
Monica was your cool homegirl. Where did she land on the list?
Yeah.
I think she was a little further back. On the list.
They both all three of them impacted the game for sure in different ways. But I'm just kind of surprised about that. I thought they would have been a little bit more higher on the list.
You know,
I
just...
impact, but.
So, I mean, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned the last 25 through 11, Patti LaBelle, 24, Bill Withers, Teddy, 23, Luther, 22, Donny Hathaway, 21, Otis Redding, 20, Smokey, 19, Al Green, 18. Remember, Al Green was 10. Janet Jackson is at number 17. Don't know. Mary is at number 16. Should Mary be before Janet? It's an interesting conversation. Because Mary ushered in hip-hop soul, singing over hip-hop hooks and beats. But I don't know. Isaac Hayes is 15. Curtis Mayfield is 14. Sam Cooke is 13. Usher is 12. Ray Charles is 11.
No Teddy P?
Teddy P was 23.
Okay.
So, It's an interesting list. Let's take Eric from Carson, then we'll get into this Tia Mowry topic. Eric, how are you this evening? Happy Juneteenth.
Hey, Jill, you took the words out of my mouth. Likewise.
Thanks.
I just want to say real quick that I feel about this topic on this list similar to how I used to feel about NBA discussions before I took a part-time gig at an arena. It's subjective, so I'm going to just focus on the top three. Michael Jackson was an excellent showman, dancer, had great stage presence. Stevie Wonder is an instrumentalist, and he is a great songwriter and singer. And so they have different strengths, but Michael Jackson is number one all day and night. Stevie Wonder is number two, and James Brown is number three.
I'm not mad at that. I can take that. Thanks for calling in, Eric. We appreciate your insight. All right, it's Juneteenth, so I felt this an important topic to mention. Tia Mowry posted an impassioned post on Instagram about Juneteenth, but she also had some reflection sharing how growing up mixed race at times made her feel like she wasn't black enough. I think that is important to mention because, especially now, we oftentimes will try to kick people out of the culture, out of the race, based on our opinions. Well, they are biracial. They aren't black. You know, there was a time when we didn't have that option. We, meaning black people, took care of our own because a lot of times there was danger for those individuals and their parents, you know, if we didn't take them up in the community. Now, some may feel like that's a charity we don't have to or shouldn't extend to others anymore, but I think it is also an important hallmark of who we are as a people and why community is so important. And I get it. It's a choice. Some people do not want to just consider themselves black. They are like, what about my other, whatever that other is, whether it be white, Asian, Mexican, whatever the other half of that with black. The reality is, for many, right, the black community was their safe haven, their space of comfort, their first signs of knowledge where they saw growth and family and inclusion. So, you know, I think we should just keep that in mind. You know, she says that she is grateful to be a part of the culture. And I understand it's a conversation. It's a different one. I feel as we have become more open as the diaspora in conversation through social media, I feel there's been a push for people to pick a side or choose or push people out or define what is and is not acceptable for blackness. And I just say, don't forget the struggles that we went through as a people, biracial or not, and that some of our greatest leaders were those that were also biracial, in addition to the ones that are, you know, 100% fully black. But think Thurgood Marshall, think Malcolm X, think, you know, there's so many. So, you know, who? Bob Marley, yeah. I mean, you know, it's a lot to consider, but it's out there. So just wanted to get into that because it is Juneteenth. She also talked about the pros and cons of being a child actor. She said a pro, learning responsibility early, professionalism by the time she hit college. A con, losing out on a normal childhood, especially in dating and social exploration. I didn't get to experience childhood the same way, especially when it came to things like dating. She credits her sister and family for keeping her grounded. We know fame costs. And like Debbie Allen said, right here is where you start paying in sweat. But listen, we got to make sure that no matter what, and as Andy started the show with in his message, we think about us all. I understand it's been rough. I know 92% we opting out. But when we do opt in, just remember how we got so many gains. So that's just my little side message, you know. I know that we're all about the cookouts and the social post and all of the other things, but remember the liberation and the legacy on this day, okay? You know, whether we are talking ownership in the media, Shout out to One Tavis Smiley. Again, it is our 4th year anniversary. Or we're talking wealth building or just reclaiming joy. This is a moment to celebrate our Blackness out loud in spite of some of the current obstacles and interesting situations we are faced with. Remember the goal, eyes on the prize, as I always like to say. Andy?
I think as another form of celebration, fellas, ladies, go to the doctor.
Facts.
We need soldiers on the field, and quite frankly, you can't fight if, your limbs are, not available. So, as a moment to celebrate, I think it's also important to highlight health as well, too.
Man, get your checkups in. Prostate, breast, everything. Regular checkups, make sure that you are drinking your water, getting a little bit of sunlight, getting your fruits and veggies in. Limit those sweets. I love them. I love a good cupcake. I love a good pie. Not pie, but cobbler, really. But, another day. I like desserts, but keep it tight, keep it right. Go get your health checked out. We have been losing far too many of our Gen Xers at an age earlier than expected, So take care. Enjoy your Juneteenth. I will be back with you tomorrow, 6 to 7 p.m., as always, to hit you over the head with these trending topics and headlines. Coming up next is the voice of reason to end your night on a positive and insightful note. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
It's all about you. I can picture us running in the rain. After a movie, then we spark a flame. Oh, I love it when you scream my name. Going 60 in a 3rd lane. We pull over to the parking lot. In the park, that's my favorite spot. Doing just about anything. We'll be going to the bird sing. Oh yeah.